Hello out there to you. In this video, we're going to calculate the consumer surplus and producer surplus if the government comes in and sets a price floor of $2. So $2 is a binding price floor because it is set above the equilibrium price. So equilibrium price is $1.50. Here's our price floor. Now, why do we call it that if it's set above? It's because any price up here is legal and any price down here is illegal. And so from a human standpoint, we stand on floors. So you're looking at it, we are up here, and so we're operating in this environment. So that's why we call it a price floor, even though it looks more like something else that I won't say because I don't want to confuse you. So we want to calculate the consumer surplus. So the consumer surplus is the area below the demand curve but above the price. Okay, so our consumer surplus is the area up here. And so we'll calculate that. I'm going to label that right there. It's going to be 1/2 this part of the triangle. So it would be $1.50 times this part of the triangle, which would be 0 to 300, which would be 300. Okay, so to calculate that part, it would be 300. I think I can do this in my head, but let's just make sure. 450, and then half of that is 225. So the consumer surplus would be 225. Okay, that's the area of that triangle. Now our producer surplus is going to be the area above the supply curve, but below the price. So we follow this over here. The consumers are going to buy 300 units. We follow this up to the price, and this is the producer surplus. So the producer surplus looks a little bit different. It's not just a triangle. It is a triangle and a rectangle. And here's our producer surplus. So we could do like the rectangle part right here, and then the triangle part right here. So the rectangle part is easy. That would be 120 up to 200 on 300 units. So it would just be 0.8, which is 80 cents on 300 units. That would be 240. So that's the 240. It's this rectangle part. And we'll add in this here, producer surplus. It would be 240. And then for this part, I need to know what this point is right here, and I know that it's 0.3, and I did this in a different video, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But since the supply curve seems to be increasing by 100 units every 30 cents, I could walk this backwards and say, well, 200 units would be 90 cents, and 100 units would be 60 cents, so therefore 0 units would be 30 cents. So the triangle part here would be, actually let's do that over here. Triangle part would be 30 cents up to 120. So that's going to be 90 cents times 300. Okay, and then we'll put that in the calculator. 0.9 times 300. That's 270. Half of 270 is 135. So 135 is 135. And we'll just add those together. Plus 240 is 375. So 375. And now we're done. This is the consumer surplus. This is the producer surplus. There is a little piece here that you might be asked about, which is the deadweight loss. So I'll shade that right here. That is the loss to consumer and producer surplus. So you could calculate that. That is just right here for deadweight loss. So that would be 80 cents times 100. You do that in my head. That deadweight loss would be $40. So that's the loss to the market, and that's what we would think about, like, is this worth it or not? But that's the math on how to calculate consumer and producer surplus with a binding price floor.